this recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Good morning.
Good morning, beautiful.
How are you?
I'm good. And guess what?
What?
Happy International Women's Day to my favorite international woman.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love being a woman.
You are the best woman that I know.
Thank you so much. I would say I'm not international. I'm definitely I'm not Candy Burris. I am not worldwide
You're
yet.
not worldwide. We've not been out of the country yet as a married couple.
We
I've
have
been
not.
out of the country.
I have not been out of the country.
And Katie has not.
I mean, we could technically say we've been out of the country with like St. John and the waters.
True.
But
in the waters, yeah,
but
because we were really close to like
British like the British islands, whatever. Yeah.
Colonies.
Well, yeah. Welcome to the Couples Couch podcast. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Do you have any international women you want to shout out?
Shout out to my mom.
Shout out to our moms. Hi, moms.
Hi, moms.
And
Shout out
Cass.
shout out to Cass.
Yeah,
and this woman actually.
Tell about this international woman, Cass.
This international woman. Oh, I love Cass. She actually is international.
She is worldwide.
She's worldwide. You
Yep.
can find her music on Spotify.
Look it up.
Yes.
It's great.
I think you could probably figure it out.
Right.
But Cass got a dog last night who
She
is
did.
also a little lady.
She's so cute.
She's so cute. It's unnamed though.
Unnamed, but let's explain what she kind of looks like. She is
Stupid cute.
Stupid cute. I think she's a few weeks old.
I think she's like 2 months.
2 months.
Uh-huh.
And she's like kind of gingy.
Yeah, she's like a gingy and white with a
so
beautiful
cute.
little brown spot. Like I think she has like brown
In
markings.
her nose, or like on her nose or something.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and her
precious.
tail, I think.
Oh, her tail.
Yeah.
And she's part corgi, we
Yeah.
think, or they
Yeah,
said.
they said she's part corgi.
And
then
she has corgi ears, which are also
they're like
so cute.
they're stupid. It's I love it.
They plop down. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're sweet. But yeah, so
Yeah.
unnamed at the moment.
We've given her some name ideas.
Right, I don't remember. Reba?
Well, I told her, I don't know, I was gonna tell her to name it Lucy. Like, I love
I love
Lucy.
Lucy, yeah.
Because I do love Lucy. Lucy and Desi.
Who amongst us doesn't?
I know. So yeah, I was thinking Lucy. We were also thinking about things that rhyme with her cat's name.
Oh, her cat, yeah. She has a little black cat that has white paws, so she clearly named it Socks.
Duh.
Obviously. And so, it's hard to rhyme socks with things because we obviously like to rhyme.
Yeah.
Listen to our next episode.
It's coming up.
Coming up quickly. But yeah, so what were our options with socks? I don't remember. I don't think they were great, though.
They weren't great. I told her one, and I won't say it out loud because
Fox? Because
it's
she's
Fox.
red.
Yeah, Fox is cute. Socks and Fox.
Socks and Fox. It's red. Why
It's
not?
red. Yeah, no, she could literally, I mean, she's a songwriter, so she could literally, like, pull that out of her hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are we giving her ideas?
Yeah, no, give us ideas.
Yeah, give us ideas, please.
Please, we need help. Send help.
Mm-hmm.
But no, so help name Cass's dog if you want. Please put it in the comments, and actually we'll create a little Instagram
Yeah, I was
poll.
going to say, we'll post like a picture in our Instagram story. So if you're not already, follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
At the Couples Couch Podcast.
Yes.
We put out a lot of content there. So, yeah, give us a follow. And what else, my love?
Yeah.
Any other international women?
Well, Claudia
Oh,
also.
the dogs, yeah.
Yeah, Claudia got a dog.
Claudia, yeah, Girl with No Job, or if you listen to podcasts, The Toast.
The Toast. We love to listen to the Morning Toast.
Uh-huh.
At 1.5 speed, it gets really wild sometimes because Claudia speaks really fast.
Claudia speaks really fast, and I'm like, I missed part of what my girl said. I have to kind of slow it down sometimes, yeah. But, we did... Oh, yeah, she got a dog. What kind of dog was it? Because her dog unfortunately passed away, and it was like a King Charles Spaniel, I think,
yeah,
she had.
I think so. And her other dog was named something, but this dog's name's Romeo. It's his little brother.
Escapes me. Yeah, his little brother. So sweet, though.
Yeah, and they've been on vacation, so how fun to come home and have a new puppy.
A dog, yeah.
That is so fun.
Yeah.
Our puppy is underneath this couch right here.
He is, if you're watching on YouTube. Okay.
Well, we'll show you later. He's sleeping.
And, yeah.
He's sleeping. But yeah, so International Women's Day, shout out to our moms. I also have some incredible women co-workers that are just like, yeah, they're just, they're incredible. Some of them, they're just like, they're all so different and so authentic, and like, I love getting to work with them.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. And then who else? Yeah, there's just so many incredible women that we know.
We could go on and on and on.
Yes.
So if we miss anyone, apologies.
But we love you and we celebrate you.
Today and every day.
Like,
this is a women's podcast.
It is a women's podcast. Pay women, pay people.
Pay women.
Yeah, let's start paying people what they deserve.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of paying people what they deserve, this is our first official week of podcast.
Oh my gosh! We're not getting paid yet, but fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's our first week of podcast, and like it's been really fun.
And yeah, I think it's been a blast. I've had so much fun getting to chat with you, doing what we do anyways on our couch. Talk about our favorite reality shows, talk about our current obsessions during commercial breaks. Like, that is honestly what we do. So we love that you have been along for the ride with us this week.
And honestly, like, because we have to pay the $2.99 for Hulu a month, like, we're so thankful for the commercial breaks.
Yeah. Truly.
Actually, we're thankful to your mom because it's her Hulu that we're logging into right now. But
truly.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the commercial breaks.
Thank you for the commercial breaks. They're helpful. They're good. But yeah, so happy Friday.
Happy Friday. What did we do last night?
What did we do last night? Thursday night, we
I was exhausted.
Same. By like 6 o'clock, it was starting to get like dark, more or less.
It was
and
dark.
My
it's
eyes
cold.
wanted to shut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cold right now, and
it's snowing right now.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. Like, I don't want to leave.
Yeah,
I don't want to leave the house today. I might have to. Like, if I need to go to the gym. There's a couple events and things that I need to go to tonight. But like, I don't want to. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, if the snow progresses, we might just stay.
Right. It's okay to change your mind.
That's a fact. That's one of the things we love to say around our house. We want to let y'all in on those too, like some of our favorite like home sayings. I don't know what we'll actually call them because that was lame. Yeah. But it's you're allowed to change your mind. Like, it's okay to change your mind. And happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy snowy Friday.
Happy snowy Friday. Do you want to get into it last night?
Oh wait, yeah. What did we eat last night then?
We made chili actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was trying to remember what we had. It was so good.
You made a grilled cheese.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the grilled cheese really added to the chili. Not that the chili needed the grilled cheese.
No, but it creates a nice experience.
Yeah, an experience for your taste buds.
Yes.
It's delicious.
It was. I enjoyed it. And then we watched 2 rounds of TV. Do you want to talk about the exciting one first? Ooh. Or do you want to talk about
Should we
Survivor?
Start with the boring one?
Yeah, we'll start with Survivor.
We'll start with Survivor because there's not a lot to say.
No, I agree. There's not a ton to say about Survivor. Survivor's in its 2nd episode. We could not pick. We said we were coming in and giving you all our top picks.
Redacted.
But, like, that's an untrue statement. We cannot do that yet.
Yeah, it's just so hard because there's so many players. And honestly, we've only got to see one tribe go to tribal twice. So they really only focus on that one tribe. So, like, I have my favorites inside of that tribe. But outside of that, I really don't know these people.
No, I agree. And I think that I don't even remember, like, honestly, it was a snooze fest. I was on my phone.
It does look like there's a little bit of drama brewing between Venus and her tribe with soda in them, though, which I'm excited to see if it percolates and comes to a head, because if I haven't eaten for... How many days have they been out there now?
3 hours.
3 days. Yeah, 3 hours, exactly. If I haven't eaten for 3 hours, if I'm, like, a little wet, if I'm cranky, I might snap. So, like, it might be good. We'll see.
Well, there was a time in Hawaii where you did snap when you were wet and cranky.
No, I'm telling you, like, I'm a toddler. If I haven't had a nap, if my day is not going the way I plan...
We had just gotten to Hawaii, and we lost the keys to the home. Remember, we locked the key inside the house? We were staying in this wonderful condo right on the beach, and we had not slept because we took a 5 a.m. flight to Hawaii. Yeah. And, like, you have to be at the airport basically at 3 a.m.
Right.
And then, like, just all the things. So basically, we lost the keys, had to go, like, fish the keys out of a bin. We were like, thank goodness for Apple Pay because we were ravenous and we had to go eat, and we didn't have any of our money because we locked all of our stuff in the hotel room.
We locked all of our stuff in the condo. Yeah. And, like, to our not defense, I guess to our detriment, we didn't understand, like, the whole locking system that was on the gate. Like, and it was a very standard lock. Like, we should have known what was cooking.
We should have.
We just didn't. We didn't have lockers like that at school. Like, we didn't lock our stuff up. So that was never really on our radar growing up. So I think that's probably why we didn't have to lock our bikes up. Like, that was not our story growing up.
No, I just leave my bike behind the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't know much from locks. We had to Google it. But I say all that to say... I don't know, but being tired and hungry. That's what it is. It really sent Tanner that day in Hawaii.
It did, and it will.
And I've never seen him get frustrated.
Tired, hungry, and just wet
exhausted.
And sweaty,
And, that was like one of the funniest memories I made for me though. I'm like, it doesn't like happen to you often, so it's like really funny when it does. But after you look back, in the beginning, I'm like, it's okay, breathe through it.
That day to me was trauma, so I had blocked it, obviously, because whenever you were bringing this story up, I had completely forgot that we locked the keys in the door within the first 20 minutes that we were there. Yeah. It was really something.
No, and, I would say, I think that day I was just like, both of us were having to breathe through it, but who's breathing through it on Survivor is Soda, because she's a special education teacher, so the patience of a saint, I'm sure.
More Definitely. And she has so much morale. Like, she does bring that to the tribe. And I know she brings that to her school.
Yeah, she brings so much morale. She's, like, singing. She's joking. She's trying to make things light, and I really appreciate that about Soda. Soda's great for that.
Soda is great. And Soda's trying to comfort Venus, and Venus was not having it. So I don't know what Venus's deal is. We'll see. It'll all play out. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but it seems like they're kind of building towards that. But we say all that to say we have not picked our top five, and we don't know when we will.
Yeah, I don't know when we'll pick them, but we'll pick them soon. I think the Survivor pre-merge, it's really hard to keep up with.
It is. It really is. And I had a thought, too. We have to number ours, obviously. Like, my number 1 is Q. My number 2 is Soda. My number 3 is this person.
Yeah.
So that if, like, we know who wins amongst us.
Yes, that's
true.
For
our top picks.
It's the March Madness of March Madnesses. Just bring it back if you didn't see Monday's
Sweet
episode.
16, March
you
Madness,
didn't see it because it wasn't filmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But podcast it.
Podcast.
Yeah. Do you want to get into my favorite thing?
Yeah, let's jump gears. We're going to switch to the next story. Which one?
Let's talk about Summer House.
Oh, your favorite, Summer House. Yeah.
So last night we got at the end of last week's episode, Lindsay was calling Carl C. Kane Carl.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Lindsay really went off the deep end. And so...
Lushy Lindsay. Lushy Lindsay. And like we start the episode with those two fighting again. Yeah. And Lindsay is telling Carl he's screaming at her. What's your take?
I wouldn't say he was screaming at her, and I think he said it best. He said he was frustrated.
Yeah.
And I could tell he was passionate in that moment because he was being gaslit. Okay?
Yeah.
And so I understood his frustration, but I would not say he was screaming at her. That's my opinion. Yours?
I would agree. I would say Carl was not screaming at her, and then he said, I'm frustrated. Get some rest. He was like, I'm so tired of arguing with this girl who has not taken a beat. Who is...
She had already came in sideways at him, like, throwing water at him after already throwing out these wild allegations, like, here, have some water, drink some water. What do you think that means?
Right.
So that was so funny to me that he was like, get some rest.
Yeah.
He, like, threw it back at her.
Yeah, no, that's so true. I didn't think about it that way. I like that. And then we get into Gabby. So Carl leaves the room, and Gabby is at the kitchen table, like, are you okay? Blah, 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 something like that. Gabby and
Carl.
Yeah, and I was just thinking... Gabby, that is so nice.
Yeah.
But you do not need to third wheel this relationship.
No, we talked about it last time. It's not... we saw it play out poorly with Danielle and the two of them, Lindsay and Carl, and it's looking like it's not playing out greatly between Gabby and them now. And, like, get out before it gets bad, Gabby. Yeah. That's my advice.
Get out before it gets bad. I'm trying to see if something happened. I think I forgot. Oh, right here.
Oh, that's okay. What?
Okay, here it is.
Oh, yeah.
So, Carl said that Lindsay was talking about Carl's job situation. They're at the beach.
Right, yep.
And Carl has left his previous company.
Lover boy.
And he actually was in that company with Kyle on the show, if you did not know that.
Yeah.
But, so, there's just a lot of tension, like, amongst friends working, the hours, expectations.
Sure.
Honestly, it sounded like they needed to clarify the roles and expectations was one of the clear gaps that I saw.
Like a JD for someone? A job description, please?
They needed a full JD.
Well.
And, like, updated expectations.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'm just like, yeah, like, those are clear gaps that would actually make problems inside the workplace.
I just finished my coffee. I'm sad. But yes, I agree.
I'm jealous because mine's empty.
But you won't hear that clinking anymore, so...
Clink, clink. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that it was a lot to do with just the expectations of that role and that job and, like, the blurred lines of friendship.
Yeah, that's really hard.
Yeah.
So, I think about, to think about that, Carl was sharing that he was trying out, he had a couple irons in the fire is how he described it. Then Lindsay came on and said, Carl's tried to be...
Oh, right.
Lindsay first compared herself to Paige, which made me cackle.
She said she does like Paige. She's an influencer now.
Yes, and Paige is an influencer.
Right.
But Paige is not really doting us almond makeup.
No, right.
Yeah, Paige is...
doing Amazon Lives like Kyle Richards. Like, it's a different level.
Yeah, it's a different level. She's Amazon Living it. She's going to Fashion Week.
Right.
She is, like, actually sponsored by, like, designers.
Lindsay did go to the White House, but...
Lindsay, okay.
I was just, advocating for the devil.
Yeah, the devil doesn't need any
Lindsay
more advocates.
herself.
Yeah. The devil doesn't need any more advocates.
That's a fact.
But you're right. She is influencing. I thought the comparison to Paige was funny.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I was just like,
it didn't fit.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And she may have said kind of like Paige, and I'm just not giving her the benefit of the doubt because of
who she is.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, yeah, there's, like, my own biases in that.
She's showing us who she is.
That's true. So, but Lindsay then was like, we've paid $20,000 for Carl to have a career coach.
For 6 months?
So it's like an episode of filming.
Yeah.
One episode of filming, basically.
She's like so wound up about, but I'm like, he's making money from the show, right?
Yeah,
and like appearances and other things. Like he's not bringing in $0.
Well, and I wonder if it's just like the optics of it all.
Right, probably, because she seems, or she feel, and she is, like, if she's doing these brand deals, she's working, she's doing things.
Right.
And maybe she doesn't feel like he's putting the same energy or passion towards what she feels passionate about now, which is allegedly influencing. Yeah,
well, and maybe she's also just like, she's like, I don't want to be like the holder of this, but I think he's also bringing in income. But they have a very expensive life.
Well, yeah, they have like a $13,000 a month apartment, right?
Yeah. And so, like, that's something that I think would be hard if you already had that very expensive apartment.
Right.
And then you are now, you got that apartment in the summer. It's November. You're no longer working at the place where y'all were paying for your apartment. So if Lindsay's having to work really hard to sustain a life that they agreed upon beforehand, I understand that resentment.
Okay.
Especially when you don't talk about it.
True.
And if they haven't had a communication, then, like, that's the issue. Like, if we're not talking about, oh, we're committed to do this for X amount of time, or like, what is that? And that conversation, really, they kind of have it at the end.
I was going to say,
which we'll get into in a few minutes. But do you just want to get into it?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, while we're giving Lindsay the benefit of the doubt, let's just go ahead and finish it up, put a bow on it, wrap it up, tie it up.
Because I don't typically give Lindsay the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly.
She's not my doubt giver.
No, certainly not. So, at the end of the episode, I also did agree with her in the fact that
Carl brought her to
a brick and mortar,
like
sober bar,
which was great because Carl's sober.
Because Carl is sober. California's sober. He doesn't drink, and so Lindsay does drink. They had a delicious looking mocktail, and he proceeds to tell her that he wants to open up a sports bar, but the twist being, it's a non-alcoholic sports bar,
which
to me doesn't sound fun.
Well, I think. Okay, here's the thing. I think Lindsay's whole piece of it is like the brick and mortar of it all.
For sure, and that's what she said. She's been in hospitality. She's done the brick and mortar. That scares her. We understand that. We would not have a brick and mortar, not in this economy. Like, it doesn't make sense.
We have another business, and it's not brick and mortar, and it's amazing. Yeah. And we get to go in, and if you didn't know, Tanner is like a home organizer and a deep cleaner, regular cleaner, and also does smart lighting. So there's just my pitch for Cunningham Configurations. But it's not a brick and mortar, and it's a thing that we can go in and do and make different supplemental things, because we've also had a big change in our life since this past year. And, like, there's all kinds of things that you have to work out and do. And I say the communication piece from experience, because we communicate about all of that.
The finances, all of it, like, what we're doing. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, what we're dreaming about, like, what we're passionate about, like, what makes sense for us. Like, that is something gets written down. And we have to communicate about it. Communicate it to each other and with each other. And it makes me sad that it doesn't look like they did that until that episode. Yeah. Like, Carl felt like he had to tell her, like, in front of cameras. Yeah. And, again, I don't think Lindsay was wrong in her response. I just think that they're probably not communicating.
Yeah, and Lindsay's response was like, absolutely not. And that I agree with. And I get the space. There does need to be I get that space.
Like, there's a niche market for that, I'm sure. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, a niche market for that. And also, like, Gen Zs aren't drinking as much. They're, putting out
for
alcohol. Sure. There's a lot of sober people that you need that camaraderie, that space for.
Right.
And to create that community. I understand that.
Yeah.
And we can't do that without financial backers. Like, it's just a lot of things. And if Lindsay's bringing the income, that's so stressful.
So stressful.
Yeah, they need a backer. They should. They need to call.
Well, I don't know if they need to call something about her. They need to
call Lisa.
Call somebody that can get something moving a little quicker. But so a backer would be great. Like, the idea is a good idea, Carl, but that's where you take that idea to, like, a backer and pitch it. And, like, get the money and, like...
You be the face.
You be the face, just like you were a Loverboy. And, like, that's what you want to do anyway. So, like, and this is your passion, like, your sobriety, and I love that. And so, like, you should feed those passions.
Right, and making, like, safe spaces for people to come and to know that, like, they can go enjoy game and not feel pressured.
For sure.
I don't watch sports bra. I don't really care for it. We watched the Super Bowl this year for Taylor.
Obviously.
But, like, other than that, like, so I really get it. And I also think you need to be the face of that and maybe just have a partial thing of the company not the whole company.
Not the whole.
And I get Lindsay, because if you came to me right now and said, babe, I want to open a sports bar, whether it was flowing with alcohol or a sober bar, I would say, absolutely not.
For sure. I would have the same response as Lindsay. So I don't think she was wrong in that. So those are the 2 ticks in Lindsay's box that she got from me this episode.
Yes.
And wow, the way... Wait, are we turning on Lindsay yet? No, I want to talk about Sierra and West. Can we?
Yeah, I love Sierra and West. Okay. I think they're fun. I don't think they're long term. I think this is just like a silly summer fling. But I think Sierra's getting the attention she deserves, because she has been getting low budget, no good on TV.
Right, like Austin Kroll.
Yeah, Austin Kroll. That one guy.
Ew,
he dated Ashley Darby.
Yeah.
Dated Hannah Lerner.
Luke from Summer House.
That's literally just like all of our like pop. Ashley Darby, Hannah,
right,
Luke.
Those little connections.
Yeah, like we're just like throwing them out. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that they were sweet, and I agree. I think Sierra is... I think that they're cute together, too. And Sierra does love a funny man. West is funny. He has great style. I like them together. I agree. I don't know that it is long-term, because like Sierra said, he is younger than her. He's only 28.
Right.
He doesn't seem like the type that wants to be, like, wilding or settling. Like, I don't really know. Like, I can't catch a vibe from him in that sense. Like, I can tell he likes to party. He woke up in bed with Kyle Cook. I mean, come on.
They
the boy
woke
likes
up
to party.
in their shoes.
Yeah.
It was so funny. They were partying, but that's what the summer house is for.
For sure.
But yeah, and my favorite part of Sierra and West last night was when they were at the restaurant with the girlies, Carl and West. So it was Amanda, Danielle, Sierra, Carl and West were there. Yeah. Sierra and West were sitting beside each other. And West goes, "Do you know what a cheers means?"
Yes.
And it was like
why the cheers was...
Yeah, and she knew the story, and everybody else looked at them like they were stupid.
Right.
And I loved that, because honestly we have very similar moments of like, "Do you know about this?" And like nobody else knows.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I thought that was sweet, and I thought that like made Sierra's ears perk up.
I agree, and it was so cute.
She had little Cassie Corgi ears.
Oh, little Cassie Corgi ears. So sweet. Yeah. But let's see, what else? Kyle, spooning, already talked about that.
Yeah, they were spooning. They were passing out. Honestly, I was like, pop off. I know that you're not having a good night when you slept with the lights on.
Right.
Your shoes are still on your feet. I hope somebody made them breakfast.
I do too, but I was sad whenever Kyle walked into the room and he didn't sleep with his little doggies.
Yeah, the dogs are so
and his wife,
cute.
Obviously, but I was just like, oh, you left these people for West? I think it's like
Winnie and Ryder, I think is their name. I can't remember.
Yeah, Ryder I remember. But,
yes. And the fire alarms. Okay, so when they came back, and they were partying, and then we'll go back up, because I need to know about Lindsay and Craig's story. We have to go back to that. But when the fire alarms were going off last night because of the smoke machine, it made Brooks's ears perk up.
Yeah, it did.
Everybody was mad in this house. I was like, can we please stop? This is not what we're going to do.
Not what's happening.
Yes. And so and when we were doing that, like our Alexa went off. All of it was a lot.
Yeah, we were having some tech issues. We didn't have thank goodness, but we were having technical difficulties.
And one last thing I'll say about West and Sierra, they went on a private date, like alone. Cameras, but alone. And he picked her, he had a car come for her and pick her up, which I thought was spot
the gentlemanly thing to do, the right thing to do.
Especially, I feel like that's like should be like the expectation in New York, I guess.
In New York, yeah.
If you're going on a date and you're pursuing the person, like send a car service and vice versa.
For sure.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love that. And what else?
But how she showed up she came out of the car service, and Wes went like, I think his name's West. I keep calling him
T, hard T,
but I keep calling him West.
I do too. It's hard not to do.
West, and she showed up, and he was like, ah. And
his eyes like popped out of his head.
Yeah, it
was so cute.
Yeah, and I love that. I was like, that's how you show up and look at the person you're going on a date with.
Definitely. If not, Sierra should have gotten back in the car, but luckily West had the right response.
He did, because maybe she could have just re-hit that Uber and taken her butt home.
Literally. Can you imagine? That would have been the funniest thing. He would have been like, hey, and she'd just be like,
I'm getting my Uber, gotta go. And I'm charging the tip to you.
Oh, obviously.
28% tip.
He's getting 100% tip. You have me get dressed and then not give me a good response? No thanks.
Absolutely, I agree. So yeah.
Did you think her outfit kind of looked like a Girl Scout? Because she is a known Girl Scout.
I didn't think her outfit looked like a Girl Scout, but she did share that she was a Girl Scout.
Yeah.
On the show. And I thought, on my honor, I will try to serve God and my country to help people at all times that live by the Girl Scout law. I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, courageous and strong, considering, caring, responsible for what I say and do. I think, I don't remember. And to be a sister to every Girl Scout, that's how it ends. Sierra said she was a Girl Scout from K through 12.
Yeah, and a big camper.
Yeah, she was a camper. And I also was a Girl Scout, but camping was not my thing. I was in a Girl Scout troop once, so we did some camping. It was not for me.
How often did you have to do it?
In my head, every weekend. But it was probably like twice.
Twice a year or something?
Yeah, it was probably just like me rewriting history. But in my head, it was like twice. But I did learn how to make these really cool, like, s'mores things when I was there. Well, you put them inside, like, this clamp.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and I, like, never thought about doing it that way. And I was like, that is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, because then it's all cooked together, right?
It's like a s'mores calzone.
A s'mores calzone. I love that. Or a s'mores quesadilla.
Yeah, so I was a Girl Scout forever. Shout out to the girlies down at the Safeway. I know you're selling your cookies.
They were. We didn't get any because I think they only took cash.
Then we didn't have any.
Who only has cash?
We only get cash for when we tip, for when we travel.
Right. Or if we get it like at Christmas or a birthday or something.
Yeah.
It's like very rare.
And most of the time, like now people, like you can just tip on Venmo. So half the time we don't even do that.
Yeah.
It's like we like send it to people directly. Like, what's your Venmo?
Yeah.
Because it's wild.
It's just easier that way.
Yeah. So yeah, no, Sierra was great. And I'll say, I want to go up though. Because earlier in the episode, Danielle confirmed her invite that she was going to go to Lindsay and Carl's wedding. Spoiler alert, they're not getting married.
Oh.
Obviously. Yeah. But then I was looking, Lindsay and Carl had that conversation on the beach. My biggest takeaway was that Carl needs sunblock.
Yeah.
Carl looks wild.
And a hat, or like a blood brimmed hat or something. He needs to protect his skin. We talked about it yesterday. You have to protect your skin.
And Lindsay was protecting her skin at least. I did see that.
She was.
I do love to lay out and get some sun, but...
Yeah.
And then how about Lindsay being the bone collector?
Right. The way the episode ended was so good. Lindsay and Paige are at the kitchen. Danielle... No, who was it? Oh, Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
Gabby Prescott corners them basically in the kitchen.
Yeah, they were talking about like being good. She was like, you and Carl are good now. Gabby is saying this to Lindsay. And I was like, quit third wheeling it, sister. You're better than this. But she was like, Gabby, she talked about, she was like, you and Carl are good. She's like, how are you? And Paige walks in. She's like, oh, you and Carl are good? That's great. And she's like, but what about you and Paige? And I was like, okay, Gabby, setting the scene. She was honestly giving us Ashley Darby behavior.
I love it.
I respected it.
Yeah, I did too.
She was like, oh, are we going to talk about this in the room? Or like Karen and Ashley both do it because she did it the other night with Candace and Robin. Are we going to talk about this? And so, like, yeah, she does. They talk about it.
Oh, my gosh.
And we find out that, so Paige does not care for Lindsay. And there's, like, a multitude of reasons that, like, she does not care for her. Right. Starting with the first season, season 3, that Paige was on, the first season Paige was on Summer House, like, Lindsay, like, came after her.
Yeah.
And, like, you know what? Once you come after me that hard, like, I might forgive you, but it's hard to forget.
For sure.
And so, like, that's always in the back of her mind. She's like, oh, our relationship isn't fine the way it is. Like, you yell at me, I yell at you, and then, like, we're just fine in passing.
Right.
And Lindsay's like, well, that's not the relationship I want. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, here we go. Here we go, satellite radio. Like, that's what it felt like. I was like, okay, that's going to happen. And we find out.
Well, but to backtrack a little bit, the reason that they're... the reason that they really paint that they're feuding is because at the reunion last year, Lindsay allegedly sold a story to some publication that Craig Conover, Paige's boyfriend, hi moms if you're not listening, is the reason, got kicked out of a wedding. And so, of
Kyle and Amanda's wedding, of the people on the show.
Right.
Which would be like the furthest thing from the truth.
Right.
Because Paige, Kyle, and Amanda are all extremely close.
Like
Paige has been like friends with them at that point by the time they got married 6 years.
Yeah.
Like that just like wasn't gonna happen. They spent all their summers together. Her boyfriend's not getting kicked out.
And so that's the main reason that they were saying that Paige and Lindsay had beef, was because that Lindsay sold a story to a publication that Paige's boyfriend was kicked out of Kyle and Amanda's wedding. And so they're sitting there at the kitchen and Lindsay says, like, brings up, she's like, you're mad, you think that I sold this story about you, don't you, Paige?
Yeah.
And Paige is like, yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, it wasn't me. It was Danielle.
Yeah, and that was wild. And Paige just looks at her with big eyes. Yeah. And then, like, it cuts to her confessional, and she's talking about it, and she's like, she wants me to, like, go rally the girls against Danielle. Right. Which I agree with Paige.
Right. I think that Lindsay... Even if it is true that Danielle sold the story, mm-hmm. the motive behind Lindsay telling Paige was to get the girls on Lindsay's side, because at this point none of the girls really ride for Lindsay like that.
No, and that was like the whole reason they were saying that like Lindsay and Carl got into it was to like get the girls on Lindsay's side.
Right.
I do think that's a piece of it, but I also think there's another surface level that she's might not even know in her subconscious, but she's Lindsay, so I think she's smart enough to know is that if the girls turn on her, Danielle will turn back to Lindsay. Danielle's already having trouble with Carl.
Yeah,
Danielle's
she can get Danielle back in line.
She's like, I need to get my like person back in line.
Yep.
And Paige is like, I ain't gonna do all that. We'll see what happens.
We'll see, yeah. But they left us on a cliffhanger for sure.
And so,
I thought it was a really good episode. This weekend we plan to watch Bet It All on Blonde. So if you haven't already, get ready for that. We'll give you a recap on Monday. Yeah, we're gonna watch Capote. We're 2 episodes behind on that.
Yeah.
And I think there's 2 episodes of Bet It All on Blonde too.
Yeah.
So
we have lots to watch.
Lots to watch, and thank you so much for listening today.
Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on Instagram at The Couples Couch Podcast, TikTok as The Couples Couch Podcast, YouTube at The Couples Couch Podcast, and we are delivering you stories every day. Thank you. Thanks, Mom. Saints, Cass. Have a great day.
Bye. Love you. Bye.